Hello everyone, I'm AussieJTV and I'm back today with the new game Ampguard that we tried out as part of our What If series yesterday. We had a couple of glitches gone during that, but it seems like a lot of people seem to enjoy the gameplay and I was itching to play more once we finished it the first time. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a problem with my load state and I couldn't seem to get it to load again, so we're going to just start from the beginning again, hopefully get through that boss without any unforeseen glitches, and then move on and see what's in the later game. So I think we have these choices of these 6 different starting items. I quite liked our loadout that we did in that run that we actually managed to get through, at least the first stage of the game. But I think we're going to mix it up a bit and keep the sword because I really enjoyed it. Keep the shadow orb because I think that was quite good, that sort of slowing spell that attacked in a line away from you. And similarly pick up the beak spear, which I think is basically similar to that other one, however it just does more raw damage. And then we'll take 3 of these talismans. So just a reminder, if you haven't played the first video or played it in this game yourself, basically the game is a combination of picking up shards from enemies, which are basically new moves that you can use, and completing almost optional quests is the way I'm going to say it. Basically talismans that will have you do specific activities, like we had in one of those, it was kill an enemy. And then those will give you things that you can use to basically upgrade your abilities and upgrade your spells so you can do a better job fighting in combat. Now, what we seem to see last time, and we'll see if this holds true, is you tend to have a series of actual combat fights, should we say, with enemies, and then you'll have a rest zone that you can then go to pick up some extra health, and so on. And I was struggling a lot with this game at the start, mainly because I decided that I was too good to use the dodge roll button, but that subsequently changed as we got further through the video, so I'd really recommend to everyone, make sure you make use of that ability to left click and dodge roll, as it will save you from getting hit over and over again like I just did. One thing I would say, because we've actually had some of the developers in the comments section, they're actively working on some of the couple of glitches they found with the high scores, etc. But they're really happy to see people picking up this game, and I'd really recommend you do give it a try, especially if you like the roguelike genre. It definitely wears sort of a one-of-a-kind art style, I'd say. I haven't seen many games that look like this. I guess it has a slight sort of cell shading a la Borderlands, but I've not seen that in an isometric top-down game. But then with the sort of room-by-room combat of many traditional roguelikes. If I could offer one thing that I think would be quite a nice improvement to the game, is that they offer some very good key binding options for the abilities. You can sort of set, instead of Q, W, E, R and space, you could set it instead to, whatever buttons you like on the keyboard. But there's no options to bind your health, or your potion slot, which is currently bound to F, or similarly your movement and your dodge roll. I think I would definitely prefer if in the game I could dodge roll by pressing something on my keyboard as opposed to having to left click. I think because I'm just so used to moving around and having my right click held down to move that I don't necessarily think of doing anything else. So here we go. Here we get a potion slot. So if you didn't notice this in the first playthrough, I only noticed these near the end. But basically where it flashes green, you can pick up potion slots to refill your potions and heal up. And then if we go to the crafting menu, what we'll see is we can now upgrade some of our shards. So these circular core blades, we can either give it extra damage, we give it extra movement speed while we have it charging or being used, as far as I can see, or reduce cooldown. So I'm going to get movement speed on this because since we have to hold it down and charge it up, it makes sense that we can move a bit faster as we do that. And then the beak spear, I'm just going to put more raw damage on it. And finally, the shadow orb, I'm just going to give it reduced cooldown, because the one thing I do note, and I think this is a purposeful design design addition, is that when you first start out, because you only have 3 spells, you're often finding that you're a bit not constantly pressing buttons. I get very impatient very quickly, so I'm liking to reduce those cooldowns so that we can keep playing. Right, now that we've got those upgrades, I also want to mention what I think I've worked out, and it might say it here actually, about chaining amps. So we noticed near the end of the session yesterday that the music seemed to get louder as we sort of change spells, and basically what happens is, if you've got well, I'm going to try and explain this in the best way possible, but I'm still not sure I 100% understand it myself. When you cast a spell, it sometimes links to a different spell, and then if you cast them sequentially, that almost builds up your meter, and this is probably explaining it far better than I am. But we'll sort of see that in action. I'll see if I notice that it's charging up, then we will be able to have a look at it and see how it works. But for now, I think it's back to some sort of traditional combat. and see if we can kill these enemies. Now, these almost what I called them the mandrills or the monkeys gave me some really annoying hits last time because it's hard to dodge those circles. And we said we were going to try and dive roll into the circles, and yep, we were right. We can actually go towards them to dodge that, so that might make it a lot easier to kill these things in the future. One thing you will have noticed, I did a bad job after explaining it, I did a bad job of showing it. Once I've used this E, I now have an option with my core blades or my beak spear. They're flashing, so if I'm going to use that next, it should increase the volume of the game. Maybe it didn't work because I didn't actually hit the spell, but assuming this time I actually get the hits off, we've got a slight increase in the volume, and I think we're doing more damage with each hit. I'm taking a lot of damage to show this off, which is not ideal, but let's try and see if we can dodge this and actually land a spell on this guy. There we go, much better. I'll just use some healing now, and then we can fight the last enemy. Bit of a shame I took so much damage there, and I just realised there's actually more than one enemy left over here, but it should do us good. I'd be very interested to know how they came up with the art, not the art style in terms of like the cell shading, etc., but what these actual creatures or monsters look like, because I'd really like to be able to see like more of a close-up. Maybe if they had like a compendium or a bestiary or something like that on the main menu, you could go in and see like a bit of close-up of these models, because they definitely have a lot of links to what I would say are almost standard animals within, you know, the world itself, but they've obviously tried to, I was going to say demonize them, but I guess using the terminology of the game, and yokais or spirit entities add a spirit entity element to them. So they're not necessarily demons as such, and I think the spirit bird, which is following us around, is an example of that. You know, it's not evil. It's just a spirit creature that is helping us. Now, as you can see, we just had a sort of light blue thing following us around. That was one of the shards. So basically, it's an unlock for a new ability. So once we get to the exit, we should be able to get some more things, and there you go. There's another shard as well. What I'm not sure if it is whether it's linked to this idea of amplification. So if I'm casting sequential spells and actually hitting them as I should be, then potentially we're more likely to get one of these shards to drop. So let's see if we can kill this one guy. That should finish it off. And then we do get this bonus room. Now, we still haven't really found out what the benefit of this bonus room is. It might just be to get more of these shards so that you're more powerful before you get to sort of the final boss. So let's see. I think this is a new elite style enemy at the moment with some sort of poison in here, so we're going to try our best to dodge and not get poisoned throughout. I'm not going to use my E as part of this amp. We're going to try and oh, I've just stepped in a trap, which is not ideal, but I'm going to try and show off this amplification. And what I'll need to know from you guys in the comment section is this really making the sound far too loud? Because I am conscious that the sound gets louder every time we do it. And as you can see, we've now got some flashing lights at the bottom of our screen. I think that indicates we're at almost the full amp meter, or we're getting a lot of bonuses. And then we just lost it there because we missed the spell, which was quite unfortunate. But I'm starting to get a hold of this, and it almost gives... I'm getting a slight sort of rhythm game element to this, in the idea of, you know, you almost have to press the right button at the right time, or at least in sequence, in order to get bonuses or buffs to your character. Well, with us completing that should be the end, and I believe there's a rest zone up ahead, and then we'll have another series of rooms which should terminate in, I don't know if it's a boss or a mini-boss at this stage, I'm not that far through the game, so we'll have to see. So now we're here, might as well use our last healing potion. We're still quite low, to be honest, but see what we can do. Let's take some more of these. Complete a combat without losing your amps. I don't trust that I'm good enough at that at the moment, but we can complete 3 talisman trials. We can take 3 talisman trials again, I guess. And then we have to pick 3 things that we actually think we're going to do. In this case, we only have the option of losing your amps 4 times. We'll take that. I think what would be quite nice is if there was a bit more differences that you could get in this, because it would be nice that I'm not always picking up the same talismans, but I must say it's still very enjoyable nonetheless. So it looks like we've got actually 4 new things we can use. So we've got Rejection, to push enemies away from us, slow them. Splintering Mounting, which is another charge spell that places a boulder. So that sounds quite interesting. We haven't seen it before. And similarly, Ghost Bomb, to place a bomb at our position. So I think, you know, it's all in the spirit of trying new things. Let's take the Splintering Mountain and let's put Strength on it, I think. Just because it might as well do as much damage as we can. And then let's take Ghost Bomb with the same strength upgrade. Let's try and be as strong as possible. Now, here, if we had more, what we can do is upgrade and make one of our existing spells better. But as you can see, we need 10 out of 10, and it seems like each shard is only giving us 3. I didn't check this before, but no, you can't add talismans in there as well. We also have Cursed, talismans. So what I think it is actually when you pick them out of your quest log, you get the cursed variant. So you can actually use them ahead of time. That's something I didn't know before. And then from there, not move on. I just realised I've dropped my Q, so I need to put that back on there. And then we should be good to go through. I'm not quite sure why there's a purple barrier, unless it's saying we need to take a different route. Probably should follow the arrows themselves and go down this way. Right, so this is the final time. I know I died when I got here the very first time, but this time I'm hopeful that we'll get through, be able to see that boss again, and see that boss in its full fury, should we say, without it having to glitch out. So let's try this new move, this Whirling Boulder. It looks like I'm just holding down the R button to work out what happens. Okay, and then it spawns that in an area. So it will do your damage and knock them back. I should probably understand those. And then we've similarly got a bomb, which I'm assuming we place on the ground and it will explode if an enemy rolls into it. Maybe not. I think we'll just play around, see what we find out with all these different things. But especially while this guy is standing still, we might be able to focus our attention on one of the others. Maybe that's going to be hubris in the end, because now everything's aggro to me. But we'll heal up here and see what we can do. I just need to remember, dodge roll is your friend. And that does seem pretty strong, actually. Oh, I just realised I'd run out of dodge roll, so you can only use a certain number in a row. So let's heal up. Use our last two heals. Dodge that circle. And then, let's see if we can get up close and personal with this guy. Okay, not going quite as planned, but I think we're slowly getting there. So let's cast our tower. That's going to put our bomb as part of our amp. So we're going to see if we can get close, place the bomb, dodge roll back out, wait for that to hit, and then that's given us our amp meter back on the boulder. So we'll fire that out, and we've killed the enemy. And that's now linked back to the bomb. So I wonder if these, once they've locked in, they just stay locked in. We'll have to see. And it does seem that because I killed the enemy while under it, it is giving me a shard. So that's something to really learn to power up next time, because you can see both times, because we had our amp meter up, we got a shard at the end of it. So maybe that's going to really help you accelerate, I was going to say your farm, but really like the speed in which you're acquiring new abilities and leveling them up for the future. And I think the fact that we're glowing yellow here, this is an indication that our sort of amp meter is full. So let's place some bombs. Let's try and use one spell at a time to keep it up. It's a bit of a shame that we seem to be having a link between two spells that have a cast time. But either way, it looks like we've lost that because unfortunately we didn't land a spell with the bomb. So it does look like as long as we're using these two, they're going to link together. I'm going to try and just not do that, just to keep a bit of a switch between our different spells. I don't want to be locked into only casting two of them at once. And here we go. Here we're getting some. See, this is a much easier fight, or at least I'm finding it much easier. I think there's just something about those I don't know, these monkeys, these mandrills that shoot out these blasts in a circle that really get to me and really confuse me. Right, let's go through, and I can't remember is whether we're going to go straight into the boss here or have one more room. Either way, one thing I would suggest is what I'm going to try and do now is every day I'm going to pick out one game that's a new release for that day and play it as part of that What If series. So if you're interested in Ampguard and also interested in seeing other games that are coming out literally on the day, I'm going to see if I can prioritize free games and definitely the sort of games that I normally play, like roguelikes, puzzle platformers, just basically anything that takes my fancy on the page. It will be less of the sort of whole AAA thing, unless it's a game that I'm really looking forward to, and more just wait and see of what's going on. Now, I'm probably spending too much time trying to focus on what to say and not enough time dodging, considering how low our health is. And we've lost all of our Ampguard meter as well. So at least now it seems like every time we use our E, that's going to make either our Q or our W get an up. So then I can use the W, that will link to the Q, and then if I hit this, which is I guess a bit of a big if, it looks like our Q, I think probably I made a mistake actually when I was messing around with what spells to take and accidentally removed the talisman from it. So it's probably the case that the same coloured talismans have links and bonuses to each other, or something like that is my guess. But we'll learn more about that as we go. I'm not going to try and work out exactly how the whole game is played before we fully know. So I'm going to charge up this spell, we don't do it too much, and see if we can last hit both of those enemies at once. Very good. And then we've got the bonus teleporter. Do we want to go through it? I don't think we do. We're really low on health. And as you can see, we're out of charges as well. Pardon me. So we need to get ready for the big boss here. I think maybe not the best best end state to be in, but we're going to use all of our healing just to get as much health as possible before we do the fight, and then we'll see what upgrades we can pick up. Right, so that's all our healing done. Let's go to this workstation, and you can see we've now got a Dispel, an area that appears at the target position, which deals 13 damage per second to enemies within. We've got Wing Attack, which attacks in another direction. We've got Reap, launch projectile, dealing 13 damage if enemies hit heal. So this seems very strong in my mind, because I'm running a bit low on health, so I'd rather take things that have a heal. And I was finding the Ghost Bomb to be a bit difficult to use, so let's switch out Reap with let's switch out the Ghost Bomb with Reap, and let's put cooldown reduction on it. So we're really trying to use that to boost up our skills. Then I think I really like most of our other spells, to be perfectly honest, but I feel like we should try some new things. I think let's swap out the Beak Spear. I can just, I'm not sure exactly how, I put it here, and switch it out with the Wing Attack, which gives us a bit more, because we've not seen this one before. So Flourish Attack in a direction enemies hit are stunned. So, I mean, arguably we maybe could be using this, just having a look at what might be better. Our strength plus 23% is better than 18. I think we've got a bit of crowd control in here now, so I think that sounds good to me. And then I really think this Splintering Mountain is doing us a lot of good work. So what I'm going to do, actually, is unbind the stuff that we don't think we're going to use anymore. Maybe we'll regret this later, I don't know. And then pick up our Splintering Mountain and try and upgrade it. One thing I'm going to do before that, actually, let's just see. No, you don't get any bonuses from combining effectively the same item twice. So let's upgrade, let's use all of these spells. Let's keep Dispel for now, because we might as well. We might, you never know, we might want to try it out, because we haven't seen that one before. And let's see if we can do the boss with these 5. I think we need to pick up some new talismans first, but then we should be good to get into the fight. As you can see, I didn't really do a very good job of getting through these last time. So maybe I'll try and really focus on using my amps properly. Don't trust that I'm going to be that good at it, but we'll try, you know. Bear with me if I'm not. Right, so in we go. Hope everyone's excited for the weekend. Since I only actually started this YouTube channel on Monday, I've been trying to focus on at least getting one video out every day, and I think I've been pretty. Oh Jesus! I should have remembered that he comes onto the action straight away. So this is not a great start, but yeah, I was hoping that I would do at least one video a day. But I'm hoping to see if I can get a bit of a backlog sorted once I have the weekend off, because I'm not working. So as you see, we are going to get potentially, if I'm doing this well, some loud noises as I'm casting my different spells as they should be used. As you can see, glowing yellow, this is what we want to see. As long as I keep hitting, we should be doing... we may have lost it there. Yeah, it took a lot of damage. I don't even know what the best way to deal with these are, because there's so many... AoE seems to be what we need to do in these areas, because it seems like they're all weak, but there are a lot of them. And I think that means we've lost our amp, just purely because whatever we use doesn't link in with the other things. I'm just going to try and back out a bit here. We've got this one little termite that's after us. We lose our amp there, but we're doing that purposely because we actually didn't have any spell that would link up, and we probably can work out better ways to deal with that in the future. Now, do we have to stand completely still to charge? So it looks like we do, so I'm going to cast it right over there, see if I can hit it. Cast our spacebar, and then... Is this the same glitch that we had before? I wonder if it's something to do with him splitting apart into loads of different pieces. Maybe that means that when he comes back, he doesn't know how to move. I might have to see if the developers have, the developers, if you have anything to comment on this about, or what the fix is planned to be, it'd be really useful to know, because I don't know if it's something that I'm doing on my end, and maybe we could try and do this battle without having to almost sort of basically stand around hitting it for 30 minutes. While it is useful for me, in a sense, I'm not sure I would be beating it if it wasn't doing this. It'd be nice to actually see the combat in its full glory, because I'm not sure if it's meant to split more than one time or what's meant to happen. But let's keep our bonuses going, keep our amp meter moving. We might as well get some talismans as well, and we should be slowly doing enough damage. I'm purposely not using our R at the moment, just because it doesn't seem like he's a danger to us, and by using the R we don't have anything that chains off it very easily, or I should say the only chain we have is to our spacebar button, and our spacebar button doesn't chain onto anything else. So he is spawning some enemies, it looks like, so something is going on. He's just not moving himself. Anyway, let's see if we can just finish off those enemies. Hit him with our W, switch to our E, and I definitely think we should try mixing up our spells next time, because it almost feels like I'm almost trying not to use our R and our spacebar, because they just don't really link to anything. and that's not really what I'd like. I'd like to build a group of abilities that all connect up to each other. I think that would be really the ideal. I think we're nearly there. Just don't it'd be annoying if I die right at the final hurdle, but I think we're basically there. I'm going to cast my R. See if that's enough damage to kill it. Not quite, and then we'll shoot out our spacebar. Nope, unfortunately not. But here we go. I think this will be the end, and then we just got his little friend that needs killing. And I think we're there. Last hit. Maybe not. Not quite sure. Maybe let's just try hitting him. Oh, maybe probably just on like one last bit of health and we didn't notice. I'm not sure if I can pick up this shard. Maybe it will float into us. But anyway, let us find the exit. You thought this would be the easy path after killing the boss, but I think it must be over here. Yeah, as I was saying, looking forward to the weekend. I've not got much planned, so it'd be good to sort of start churning out some content for the channel, try and work out where we want to go. I think it's a really good idea to start doing these, on day one release, not reviews, maybe a little bit of a let's play, a little bit of a understanding for people that are thinking about buying a game, or if it's free, just trying it out, what to do next. So I'm wandering around here, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, I can't see an exit. So, unless it's just through here and I just need to walk into it. Nope, doesn't seem to be. It's probably that there's a teleporter that I'm being very blind to that's right in the middle of the map and I'm just looking for the exits. Unless we go back in the way we came from. Ah, here you go. Here's the teleporter, just right in the corner where I wasn't looking. My mistake. We go through here. I'm hopeful. If it's anything like last time, we'll be told we're a different person. So we started last time as Kabuki, and then I think we moved to Kushina, and now we've got Mizuki. So it is not just people that begin with the letter K. I can tell you that much for sure. Right, let's get our health potions up. Let's see what we can get in the workshop, and let's at least see if we can get a little bit further than last time. So we've now got Mighty Spirit. So get an aura around you for 5 seconds that deals 25 damage per second. Why not? Let's get rid of the Reap, because even though I quite like it, we never seem to be chaining off of it, and instead pick up and connect the Mighty Spirit. And then we seem to be liking the Splintering Mountain a lot, but I'm just not sure. It's the only thing we can upgrade at the moment, so let's just spend both of those to upgrade our Splintering Mountain. It'd be one of those interesting things, as we increase these, I can see that at the bottom you can see the talismans almost have different levels, so I wonder if we can somehow combine talismans or something like that at some stage. Maybe I don't quite understand and it will be... I'll understand everything at a later date. I'm thinking I'm just going to have to get rid of these talismans because I'm never completing them. So let's try using more than 30 shards, complete 3 talismans, complete 4 talismans, complete 3 talismans. Actually, let's get rid of the complete 4 because I don't think that's going to happen. And complete a combat zone without losing your amps more than 4 times. I mean, I think we're going to have to take this, but I just don't trust myself to keep the amps rolling. Anyway, let's see what we find. Will this get a lot more difficult now? This is effectively new territory for us. We'll have to just wait and see. We might get some new enemy types as well. Okay. Well, this guy we've seen before, and he is not our best friend. Well, let's see what the new aura does. Okay, that seems to work, and it seems to link up with our R. What I do wonder, that does a lot of damage actually, is whether we are going to be stuck in an endless loop of going between our R and our spacebar though, based on that. And it does look like we are, unless we want to drop amps. For the purpose of this combat, because it does seem like it's just these 2 enemies, I'm just going to focus on using both of them to keep the amp meter up and get those talismans completed. And it does a lot of damage, to be honest, so we shouldn't be complaining too much. It doesn't seem to be doing too much damage to us either, which is nice. I think we'll just need one last R, and that will finish him off. Apologise if you guys are wondering why does he say R, Q, spacebar. It's probably far too much time playing Dota as a child, and I can't remember the names of all of these different moves. I can try and think to use them if I think about it ahead of time. So we've got Circular Saw, Wing Attack, Shadow Warp, Splintering Man. Maybe I'll just name them based on what they look like. Maybe that'll be more helpful. Like, this is effectively our Great Balls of Fire, and then we'll switch it out into our Iceberg that sinks the Titanic in a second. I'm not sure what this circle is around us, which makes me a bit scared, a bit in a corner. And then we'll continue through this. I'm just going to keep mixing up our other spells because, to be honest, I'd rather use the different spells and kill the enemies faster than worry too much about the amps. Because I'm still not 100% sure whether the amps boost your damage or whether it's just for getting those talismans. It probably does do something for the damage as well, but I'd rather just cast all the spells we can. Let's see if we can kill this weird gazelle creature effectively. They are quite fast sometimes. Let's try and get in a better area so we can see everything. Is that all the enemies? Oh, I think there's actually one that's just in here in the corner. We can't really see. Yep, here we go. So now he's aggroed. I assume he's going to start charging us. I said maybe I can boot him into the middle. That will alert him. There we go. I think he might have clipped into one of the rocks on the side. That's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, let's keep going. We seem to be getting a lot. Once we've picked up a few upgrades, everything's becoming a lot simpler. I'm actually going to use my health potions to realise I've not really been paying enough attention to how low I am. And we should be getting close to the next save point. Right, anyway, let's dive into this. We've got to get our charge up for this. Fire it out. Use our balls. And then I think I'm just going to use the other spells while this is going on. I think I'm stuck on something here, so just try and move. Yep, that's okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to concentrate a little bit. Still trying to get used to this new lizard enemy that I guess we haven't seen. And charge that up. Hopefully that was... I was a bit hoping that it would kill both of them. Obviously, this guy's made of sturdier stuff. And fire the last spell. One thing I'd be interested in, because obviously, just as I mentioned earlier, I've just started this YouTube channel. It'd be good to know, please comment about are you liking the content and where you're from. I'd like to know if, obviously I'm from the UK, as I think I've mentioned before, but do we have other people that are watching from other areas? And as I said that, I think I just literally lost maybe about half my health and died. Oh well, I think for now what we'll do is we'll go back to the main menu. We've hit about 25 minutes, which is sort of where I'd want my videos to last anyway. And then we'll maybe look at this tomorrow. I'm conscious that we didn't really get to see anything new, which is what I was really hoping for. So I'll look to record something over the weekend, and then we'll really sort of see if we can get maybe through to the end of the game. Maybe that means a slightly longer video. I don't know. We'll see. But big thank you to the developers for catching up in the comment section, and I'd love to hear about what sort of tweaks and improvements you're making to the game. I must say I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I really recommend you all go pick it up on the Steam store. As I said, it's free, so it's really not costing you anything. Anyway, with that, I will sign off. Please have a look at my What If today. We were interestingly basically running around as a garden gnome come to life, trying to get away from an overaged Dracula. So it was a really, really interesting game, and I really had a lot of fun with that one as well. Anyway, for now, this is Aussie J signing off.